Alright guys, so we have had our hands on Neverness to Everness here for a couple weeks now, and I gotta say I've been having an awesome time here with the game. But without further ado, we have a lot more coming, including a banner for Hattori here just in a little bit less than 48 hours, and then not so far in the near future, we have version 1.1. I'm going to give you guys some light details that I can and what's being estimated on the internet right now. However, I'm not going to dive into any leaks, but the leaks are very easy to find, especially if you're on things like Twitter or Reddit. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on into today's video. Gamers and game, that's what is going on. My name is Tanek027 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video, I want to talk to y'all more about Neverness to Everness. However, if you want to stay updated on all things NTE, make sure you are liking today's video, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and let's go ahead and get on into today's topic. So first and foremost, if you guys have looked over in the Ferris section, you will notice that the Ichi Dame banner only has 1 day, and now, wow, just said 20 hours a few minutes ago, 19 hours left. So like I said, less than 2 days, and our lovely Hattori will be arriving in the banner. However, I do want to encourage you guys to hold off and, just save your pulls. If you're really crazy about getting Hattori, then go ahead and by all means pull for her. But there's been just, a lot of characters to pull for with this game's initial release. Like, this game launched with a lot of S tier characters, and some of you guys may have burned out of your currency. Some of probably threw in the good Visa card a good amount, and just I'm just saying, especially if you're someone free to play, you might want to just save your pools for 1.1. That's what I'm personally going to do. Don't get me wrong, Hattori looks like a great character and stuff like that. I do want to get her, but I'm more so anticipating what's coming in the late future. So a few tips and trips I can give to you guys if you haven't already. Hit at least Hunter level 24, so that way you're finished with all of the 1.0 story. And trust me, if you haven't, you're going to want to play through the end of that story, because that final fight, just, chef's kiss. All right, we're not going to talk about. We're not going to get into any spoilers. Even though the game's been out for 2 weeks and I could very well spoil it, we're not going to get in that. Make sure you guys are raising your city tycoons, doing all this. Make sure you buy a few properties, a couple cafes. This right here especially is easy money all the time. As y'all can see, little $3 grand I get to collect right there doing absolutely nothing. But that, buy yourself some properties, interact with the characters. They get to chill in your apartment in their cutest outfits. So trust me, there's plenty of benefits to that. Not to mention, it's more character XP, hunter XP, and goodies for you. One other thing you guys also want to remember to do, especially if you haven't seen this already, is just make sure you're always doing your exploration guide and dailies like that. Especially these ones right here. If you simply just run one of these little dungeon things right over here, you can literally fill up your exploration guide dailies within 5 or 10 minutes, like every day. That's an easy 1,500 or more hunter XP. That's just real simple to get. Do your events. Make sure you're grabbing your logins, getting all these free pools and stuff like that. But we have, like I said, guys, just so you can prepare for what's coming in the future. So if you haven't heard when it comes to 1.1 already, I don't know if this is leaked information or anything like that. I don't know if the developers have given much information about 1.1, but the game's wiki right now says our next two characters are going to be Lacrimosa and Chaos. Now, these are both characters you will probably have seen in the main story, especially if you've played it all the way through. Wiki down in the description, where you guys can check that out down in the description below. And that's probably where we're going. In 1.1 is probably where we're going to get like all new story content and things like that. So that's why I was saying, just make sure you're doing your dailies, knocking out side quests around the world, and working on your city tycoons and stuff like that, so that way you get your hunter level up, just in case the next version of the story requires a pretty significant amount of hunter level, because gacha games tend to do that. They want your account level to be at a decent rate for you to play the next portion of the story. That's the main reason I was saying that. But other than that, guys, we have some pretty exciting things coming up for for Neverness to Everness. I'll leave links to some of it down in the video description. Like I said, I just don't want to put any leaks or anything here on the screen, just in case, you know, that's a violation of the developers and stuff like that. And especially since I'm an NTE partner, you know, I just don't want to burn that bridge or nothing like that. But anyway, guys, y'all enjoyed today's video, smash that like. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.